All right, Jody Burdock from Adventures here. Today we're going to show you our part 2 of how we use this thing. So stay tuned. You might learn something and take advantage of the full flexibility these things offer you. Hang tight. Well, taking advantage of this nice rainy day in Phoenix, which is very rare, we're going to show you this TriPro here. So anytime you click on the button, you have several options come up. You have a record button. You have here where you can like adjust your window brightness. This right here is a button where you can go from different views. There's the rear, there's the front, and there's the front from the camera. The other one was the front from the bumper. And then here's all three. So we're back to that. If you want to take a screenshot, you can just hit this button right here. It's going to show you that little sign, make that little clicking noise so you know you took it. If you're recording something that you want to keep locked in, you hit that lock button, that'll keep it in. If you want to go back here and see what you've watched before, you can go right here. Now keep in mind, you have to select which camera you want. You have the front extra, which is also known as the bumper, and the rear, which is the one in the back. And then you have all your options here. You have the ones that you have locked. I don't know if you can see that or not, but you got one from yesterday when we were out on the trail. And then you have one down here. This is going to show you more of your skill captures. This one we just took. So, like I said, front, regular. This is the front. All right, so we're going to do the bumper camera. We have the ones here, it's locked as well. And any screenshots that we took with that camera. There's one we just took, the garage. Same thing with the rear. So you have all three camera options on this one. And then over here, you're going to have the mic. So if you want to turn the mic off, which we have it off. So like if you're recording for content, it may be better to do that. Otherwise, you might want to leave it on. If you're just using it as strictly as a dash cam, just that way you can record any conversations that were going on. The little settings button right there, that's going to show you how to do all kinds of stuff. So resolution. And I want to show you here, it's got 3 different settings. Now the first one is going to be the front camera, I believe. The second one, I'm not really sure. The first one's the most, by far the highest resolution, so we're going to leave it at that. You know, the first option on here, so we'll just try to leave it at that. I'm sorry about the autofocus acting up on here. Here, let's go back. And then display modes. And as you can see here, we do have different display modes available. You got front camera, extra camera, rear camera, and split screen. So we're going to put our default on the rear camera because that's one we use most often. And then sound record, you can turn that off or on. We got ours set on off. You also have loop recording. And this allows you to set what time interval loop. I've got mine on 3 minutes because I think that's the best, especially when filming for content. But you can change it however you want to. G sensor setting. So this is to trigger the recording if your car gets to hit, especially while in park mode. You can go low, medium, high. I think we got ours. We'll put ours on medium. And then you have a fatigue reminder. So this will allow you to get a fatigue. This is a new feature. I didn't have this in the G900. So I'm not really sure what all it entails, but I'm assuming it gives you a reminder just to keep you from getting too tired while you're driving. You can go up to 4 hours. And then you have back down here, you got Wi-Fi. So right now we have it off. When we do have it on, we'll probably put it on the 5.8. That way we can make sure that we get the quickest speed for transfer. So we'll just click that. See, it turns it on. Now that means my phone, and it gives you a username, password. Obviously, I'm going to change this after this recording. So we're going to turn the Wi-Fi off. Because if you don't turn the Wi-Fi off, you can't get back to your mirror. All right, so let's go right here. Oh, sorry, I turned it off there. There we go. Yeah, you can't operate the mirror with the Wi-Fi on. So just know that. Voice settings, low, medium, high. You can turn that off if you want to. Click tone, which is what you're hearing right now every time I touch the button. You can turn that off if you don't want to hear it. I like having it on so you can see it. Screensaver, it says off 10 seconds, 2 minutes. I'm not sure why you'd want to increase that, but if you do, you got options too. Screen brightness, we've already covered that. It was a shortcut on the main screen. And then we have exposure. So front camera value exposure. I've left it as the default, which was 0, But if you want to play around with that, you can certainly do that. And then you just kind of hold your finger on here and scroll. Yeah, the voice control, you can turn that off, put the voice command on if you want to. You know, it has all the things you can use here. And then you have the mirror. So depending on how you install your camera, depending on whether you want to use this function. We had to do this on both the bumper camera and the rear camera because the way we mount them is not the default way. So you have to be mindful of that. So you may have to go here and switch it. And you have that's the bumper camera, and here's the rear. Same thing with flip. So if you've got yours turned upside down or whatever, you may have to go in here and adjust these to get it to look right. I had to do mine. So the reverse lines, I don't have those on because my factory camera is still on here. Park mode, we currently have it off. We're going to wait till we change our battery before we start turning that on. Plus we park in a garage and we have a safe spot at work, so not a huge hurry on that one. But you do have different time-lapse here modes if you want to do that, or you can do the G trigger, G-force trigger. GPS, I'm not sure how to make what that is, but it's there. So definitely, I don't know if the colors show up that good in the video, but they're different colors. So you can definitely do more with that if you want to. All right, so let's go down here to time display. So I'm going to leave that on because I like to see what time it is. GSP display, or GPS, I'm sorry. Think of the dogs. I'm leaving that on because I like to see this, some of the stuff I have on there. Date stamp. Now this is on the images. I think this is good to leave on. I mean, if you knew you were off-roading and you want to take it off, that'd be fine. But I generally leave it on because if you do have an accident, especially if somebody hits you, it has a date stamp. And here's a speed stamp. GPS stamped, says exactly where you're at. So somebody hits you and it's their fault and they try to deny it, or they try to deny you being there, you can take them to court. You can show them this. So make sure you turn this into the insurance company. So speed unit, obviously we're mile per hour because we're in the good old US of A. Language, there again, we're not going to change that, but you could if you wanted to. You can change how your clock works, settings too, change the date. Obviously we're not going to fool with that. Now, if you're a military guy or a cop and you use military time, well, this is just the date, month, year. I'm not going to, that time style. Here we go. This is what I was talking about. If you're like a police officer or if you're a military guy and you're dead set on using military time, you can adjust it here. Gives you that option. Time zone, daylight savings time. We're in Phoenix, so we turned that off because they don't serve it, but everybody else will probably use it. Flicker. I haven't really played around with this that lot, but you can check it to different refresh rates. And I guess that's supposed to help with the light flicker. I'm not sure how that works. Help center, if you do need help, gives you a barcode. Format reminder, if you need to have a reminder set to reformat your SD card, has that option right here. And of course, right here is the format your SD card. We're not going to do it because, actually, let's go ahead. And it takes a few minutes. You'll want to do this when you first get it because that's what it tells you to do. That way it'll work. Because if you don't do it, I don't think it works. So you'll want to do that. Then you can reset the setup. We're not going to do that. And then there's an app code here. It gives you the barcode you can scan. Product information just tells you what you got. So that's some of the stuff that's on the mirror. It's not very complicated. You know, some people can be intimidated about this stuff, but it's really not that bad. You know, and there's little hidden features on here. Now, for example, it showed up earlier in the 3 images. You can just go by swiping right and left and switching back and forth. So there's, you can see the hood, so you know that's the front camera. There's the bumper camera because it's down lower. And it said you can adjust this. You put your finger on here and you just drag it. Of course, it's not going to work with me. There you go. Drag it. You can adjust this. This one's not as sensitive as the one I had on the G900. I don't know if it's just mine or maybe it's just because my fingers are wet. But anyway, same thing with the back and the rear. You can adjust those by dragging your fingers. Yeah, there you go. We leave ours all the way down just because we have that spare tire right there. But that's pretty much it, guys. You know, you do have some stuff. You hit your Wi-Fi button over here. We'll show you, we'll do some screenshot recording and show you how we do that. You got the recording time, the current time, the direction, the mile per hour, all that fun stuff. So we're going to do a recording of the app, and I can't do that and film at the same time. So I want to do that and screen save it, and I'll add that as well. So hang tight. Just so y'all are aware, the little button to turn the Wi-Fi on is here. You push that to get it hooked up, and then you go from there. Okay, we're going to open up the app here. You can see here it takes a couple seconds for it to load. Once you get in there, you're going to try to hit that connect device here. Well, you can check first to see if you got anything downloaded, but hit that connect device. And once you do that, it will take you to your phone's Wi-Fi settings. Now, you keep in mind, this is on an Apple, so I'm not sure how Android works. But you just hit confirm there. It takes you over to your settings, or you could proactively go in there and do it before you even try to open the app. But you can see here all your Wi-Fi networks show up. Your WolfBox one will show up. You click on that. I've already put the password in, so it's going to save it to mine. But you can do that as well whenever you said it the first time. And you go back in here and it says connection successful. So you have multiple functions here. You can see a preview of the screen currently. You want to go over to your loop, you can see all the screens, and it doesn't filter by camera. Click one that you want to save, and you click download, and you can see here it starts down. You can see the percentage sign coming up there in the top right-hand corner. That's the rate it's going. You can see this thing's pretty fast. It doesn't take long to download the picture. Now, if you've got like a lot of things to download, it may take a while, but just know is that this will download pretty fast. So as you can see here, less than a minute. And you go back over here, you can see, and it shows you your little screenshot of GPS too. And if you want to save it to your phone, you hit that little save button down there. And you can do that. But back here, back to the screenshot, you can see multiple options down at the bottom. You got the camera, the video, the settings. Like I say, you go back to album. Now that we've saved that in there, then you hit this save button down here in the lower section, and it takes it to your smartphone's photo album. So that's how you can transfer images over to your phone. It's pretty quick and simple. The emergency file, that stuff like that. When you lock it, it'll show up in the emergency file. So there's different areas for that. Like I said, you get in here and play around with it. You can figure it out pretty quick. If you want to go ahead and delete some of the stuff off your phone for whatever reason, you can hit that delete button too. As you can see here, we go into our phone's photos, and you can see that we do verify that it went across. You can play it on your phone, and it's there. So that's pretty quick and easy. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed this video. As always, you guys can always hit me up with any questions you may have, either in the comments, on Instagram. Feel free to hit me up there, DM me there, Facebook, whichever. I'd be happy to answer any questions you guys have. But I hope you guys get one of these and enjoy as much as I do, because I'll be honest with you, this is probably one of my favorite mods. And I'm not just saying that, but that's really how I feel. So anyway, as always, please hit that like and subscribe button. Helps us out, and we can use all the help we can get. Thank you all so much for watching. We appreciate it, and we hope you'll stick around for a lot more to come. Thank you so much.